Becoming a mother, it's one of those experiences that changes everything. Your schedule, your priorities, your entire outlook on life. But what scientists are now discovering is that it also physically changes the structure of your brain. So let's dive right into the incredible neuroscience behind the maternal mind.
So, we already know for a fact that a first pregnancy triggers this major rewiring event in the brain. But that leaves this huge, fascinating question hanging in the air. What happens the second time around? Is the brain just doing a repeat of the first performance, or is something entirely new going on? Well, to get to the bottom of this mystery, a team of scientists designed a really clever study. They decided to look directly at the brain's architecture as women went through this incredible journey, not just once, but twice. So here was the game plan. They took detailed MRI scans of women before they even got pregnant. Then they brought them back for another scan in the months after they gave birth, either to their first baby or their second. This before and after snapshot is absolutely crucial for seeing exactly what changed. Okay, so what did they find when they put the brain scans of first-time moms next to second-time moms? Well, at first, the results were pretty much what you might expect. In both groups, they saw a pretty significant and widespread reduction in gray matter volume. Now, I know reduction can sound kind of alarming, right? But in neuroscience, it often means the opposite. It's a process of refinement, of specialization, sort of like pruning a tree to help it grow stronger and more efficiently. And this slide right here gives you a great visual of that. The blue areas are highlighting where that gray matter reduction happened. On the left, you've got first-time mothers, and on the right, second-time mothers. At a quick glance, the patterns look almost identical, don't they? But, and this is a big but, this is where the story gets really, really interesting. Because when the researchers looked closer, they realized the patterns weren't the same at all. The two brains were following two totally different remodeling plans. In fact, the differences were so clear, so distinct, that a machine learning algorithm could tell you whether a woman had her first or second child with 80% accuracy just by looking at these brain changes. Wow. That tells us the brain isn't just hitting replay, it's running a whole new program. So if there are two different blueprints, what do they actually mean? Why would the brain need a whole new plan for a second child? Well, the answer seems to be in which parts of the brain, which neural networks are getting fine-tuned. Okay, this is where it gets super cool. Check out the color key on this slide. The yellow areas show the overlap, the changes that happened in both pregnancies. But look at the magenta spots. Those changes are unique to first-time mothers. And the green areas? Those only lit up for second-timers. And these aren't just random spots. They map onto completely different functional systems in the brain. So what does this all mean in plain English? Well, for first pregnancy, the brain's remodeling job heavily targets what's called the default mode network. You can think of this as the brain's social bonding software. It gets a massive upgrade for that intense one-on-one connection. But for the second pregnancy, the brain shifts its focus. It starts upgrading the somatomotor and attention networks. This is more like upgrading the multitasking command center, getting it ready for the crazy, complex reality of juggling more than one kid. And just so we're all on the same page, the default mode network is this incredible system in our brains. It's what lets us daydream, think about ourselves, and most importantly, try to understand what other people are thinking and feeling. It makes total sense that preparing for that first intense bond with a baby would mean a major overhaul of this specific network. This is all fascinating neuroscience, for sure. But what does it actually mean for a mother's experience? How does it connect to real life? Well, the study found some really direct links between these specific brain changes and a mother's behavior and well-being. So for both groups, the amount of brain change was connected to how strong the mother-infant attachment was. But, and here's the twist, this connection was way stronger and more widespread for the first-time moms. It suggests those initial brain changes are especially critical for building that very first bond. And the link to mental health was different too. For first-timers, the changes were predictive of their mental health after the baby was born. For second-timers, the changes were linked to mental health during the pregnancy itself. Maybe that reflects the unique stress of being pregnant while you're already chasing a toddler around. So when you put this all together, we get a powerful new picture of the maternal brain. It's not something that just changes once and is done. It's a dynamic, evolving system that keeps adapting. As the study authors themselves put it so perfectly, there's just no doubt about it. Each pregnancy leaves its own unique signature on the brain's architecture. So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway. The brain isn't just repeating itself, it's preparing for a different job description. The first time, it adapts for that singular, incredibly focused bond. The second time, it readapts for the complex, attention-splitting challenge of a growing family. It's a second, totally distinct blueprint for motherhood.
And that just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If becoming a mother can leave such a sophisticated and unique mark on our brains, not just once, but twice, what other major life experiences are sculpting who we are in ways we're only just beginning to understand?